you know, get the get the client what they want, even when they think they can't get it. And
Mm,
it's having the resources like great lenders,
sure.
and knowing the right questions to ask, and knowing the properties that we should be looking at. I mean, when I've got buyers that are, shopping in a price range that's difficult, which right now is 200 and under, very difficult right now.
Yeah.
And I work with lots of VA, FHA. I like taking on the hard cases. Um, we'll target those properties that have been on the market a long time, and we will, approach the listing agent and say, "Hey, I notice you have the financing offered on this as cash or conventional. Is there a reason why there's no FHA or VA?"
Hey, everybody, this is Ryan Surratt. This is the first episode, and I was thinking to myself, who could I have as my first? And I thought it had to be the infamous Ronnie Godfrey. Ronnie, how are you doing today, my friend?
Hey, Ryan, I'm doing really well, man. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
I'm honored for you to be a part of this, especially as the first time for me to do this podcast. So this podcast, Ronnie, it's just designed to help real estate agents to grow in their business. And my hope is to have real estate agents on like yourself, or top agents, really just killing it in the market. Really doesn't matter what market we're in. You're someone who's just doing phenomenal with your business. And so a little backstory about Ronnie. Ronnie is, and you can say, kind of give a little history about yourself, but Ronnie
Yeah.
and I've done a few deals together, and we're also golfing buddies. And it probably should be noted that Ronnie's a much better golfer than myself. And Ronnie, all the way around, is just an excellent guy. He's a pilot as well. And Ronnie, how did you get into being a real estate agent? Can you catch us up to speed?
Yeah. So I was teaching school, and I taught band for 7 years, and I really enjoyed that career. It was very rewarding. It was a lot of fun. I decided to get my real estate license because I wanted to be able to supplement my teacher retirement by acquiring flip houses, rental properties, whatever. It wasn't really something I thought of doing as a career, but once I got into it, I realized that number one, if you really do things the right way and ethically, it's really hard to find deals that are flippable,
Yeah.
as a real estate agent. And I also realized that I was pretty good at helping people uh, do real estate deals, and I part-timed it for about a year and a half. My first year, I did a whopping 4 deals, and my
That's not bad for your first year, really, though.
it's not bad, but it was a very humble beginning. I will say that. I So anyway, I did that for a year and a half. The summer of 2019, my wife and I decided that I should try this full time, and so I did, and that's kind of how it all started for me.
Man, that's phenomenal. And so you're based out of Longview and
Yes.
serving the East Texas hub. And now you're with Bold Real Estate Team, correct?
So I'm with Bold Real Estate Group, and I
Group.
have a small team within the brokerage called the Integrity Team.
Fantastic.
And
Where'd you come with that name?
it's I wanted a name that would embody the number one core value that we live by.
Yeah.
That's really it. It's that simple. And I want it to be something that every time I say it, it reminds me that
Hmm.
that's what we're here to do, is to act with integrity, to do the right thing, even when nobody's looking, and even if it is at our own expense.
I love that. So that's a great aha right there. Always do the right thing as a real estate professional, even if no one's looking. No one's
Yeah.
watching. Always, yeah. That's phenomenal.
And not just as a real estate agent, but just as a general life practice. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good value to live by, I think.
So let me ask this question. So you've been in the business a few years, and you just, I mean, man, you're at. I pulled a list. You're aware of this. Pulled a list of all the different real estate agents in the area, and Ronnie was at the top of the list, and just killing it. So what are you doing to be so effective as a real estate agent in growing your business?
Well, I think that we need to maybe not address what I do, but why I do it.
Okay.
I think everybody needs to know why they're doing what they're doing. Otherwise, it's really hard to know what you should be doing. So I my why is that I love helping people solve difficult problems. I love helping people realize the dream of home ownership. I love seeing the faces on people, whenever they get finished with the whole journey and they sign the papers and I hand them their keys and we take a photo in front of the new house and they're just so happy. I love telling someone that bought a home with me 3 years ago that they've earned $100,000 in equity just by owning their home.
Hmm. Wow.
I love that feeling. That's my why. That's what drives me. That's what gets me out of bed every morning. What I do is driven by that. I look for problems that I can help people solve. I try to provide a really high level of service to everybody that I encounter. I try to be the most knowledgeable and hospitable and productive real estate team now and agent
Sure.
in my market. That's also one of our core. That's our mission statement: is to be the most hospitable, the most exceptional, and the most productive real estate team in our market. And those goals are kind of in opposition to each other because to be hospitable takes a lot of time and
Hmm.
resources. To be productive means that you have to do lots of deals. But we believe that it is possible to accomplish both of those goals, and that's what we work toward every day. So I think what makes the difference, for me, I guess to answer your question a little more directly, is that I really just show up every day. I give it 100%. I I follow up with people. I try to build a relationship, and I try to really find out what people's needs are and help them solve the difficult problems.
Huh. Man, that's incredible. That right there, I believe, is why you're at the top of the list. That's it. So, man, that's incredible. So, as you're going out in the marketplace, growing your business, serving clients, and also serving agents, because you have agents on your team underneath you.
Yes, sir.
You ever you ever run into any challenges though? I mean, in this, this market right now is not easy, but I mean, you're doing now the stats you were telling me a couple weeks ago. I mean, you're doing more than you were last year around this time, and
Yes, sir.
that's no one is saying that in this market. Which this market's the summer of 2023,
Yep.
and we just keep having resistance with lack of inventory, higher rates, but you're doing better. So how do you think that is?
Honestly, Ryan, I really think it circles back to, you know, to my why.
Yeah.
I've been, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but
No.
I've been reading "Start with Why" by Simon Sinek, man, and
Yeah,
it
I was
is
going to
just
ask you. That's great.
it's such a good book, man, and it really has flipped. I don't know that it's really flipped my understanding of what I do upside down, but it's definitely brought clarity to it, and it's helped me to understand, you know, what what motivates me, what motivates others. Um, but I really think that the reason we're experiencing success in 2023, the reason that our business has grown and not shrunk, is that we really do go out of our way to solve hard problems, to, you know, get the get the client what they want, even when they think they can't get it. And
Mm,
it's having the resources like great lenders,
sure.
and knowing the right questions to ask, and knowing the properties that we should be looking at. I mean, when I've got buyers that are, shopping in a price range that's difficult, which right now is 200 and under, very difficult right now.
Yeah.
And I work with lots of VA, FHA. I like taking on the hard cases. We'll target those properties that have been on the market a long time, and we will, approach the listing agent and say, "Hey, I notice you have the financing offered on this as cash or conventional. Is there a reason why there's no FHA or VA?"
Hmm.
Sometimes they don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not aware of what the rules and regulations are. Sometimes they're not aware of how inexpensive and easy it can be to uh, get the property brought up to standards. And so we're able to source some properties, for people that way. And I am a more buyer heavy agent than I am a listing agent. And as hard as I've tried to reverse that trend over the years, I just can't help myself. I really enjoy helping buyers, and
Yeah.
I enjoy listing properties too. And we're really good at that. I don't want to take anything away from that side of our business. I
Sure.
mean, we're good at pricing and marketing properties. Everything we do is, very professional, and very, very, it's all nicely done. We want to present ourselves in a way that exudes professionalism and expertise. But it's really just trying to get creative, and ask the questions that other people aren't asking. How can I find a house for somebody under 200,000 bucks, that's using an FHA loan? When they want something nice, they want something that's livable, that's in good shape. And
Sure.
so yeah, I mean, it's just getting a little bit creative. It's being willing to dig a little deeper. It's being willing to spend an extra few hours on a deal than we had to spend last year or the year before. Um, it's just not knowing what it means to quit.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah.
don't quit.
That's I think right there, I think that right there, I mean, so far I got you're being a person of integrity, knowing your why, and then really it's working hard and not quitting. I mean that's I think that right there is what separates you from many of the other agents in the market, and you're seeing it with your results. Is one of my a recent client we helped, a few weeks back. They were buying and selling at the same time, and the client was telling me things about you, Ronnie, that maybe you're just not aware of. When they were looking around to make an offer on this property, they were so impressed with you and your professionalism because you were walking around the house, showing them things that you saw and pointing out things that they didn't see to take into consideration. And then at the culmination, at the close and after the close, and them moving in, uh, maybe I'm wrong, but didn't you help them somehow with moving into their property? Yeah, and so I think so you go out of your way to really exude that hospitality, and I as a friend and a lender have seen that, and so
Yeah.
it's very effective. So let me ask this
Yeah.
question of you: what has been your most favorite transaction that you've been a part of so far?
Oh,
You
that's
don't
an
have
easy
to,
one.
don't have to give it names, but just what was so special about it?
There was there was a property here in Longview that is, uh, somewhat famous, and everybody knows it, although most people probably haven't seen it up close. It sits atop a hill, about 12 acres, and there's an old plantation style house up on top of that hill.
Huh.
And I met this couple off of a Zillow lead. Yes, we buy Zillow leads, and yes, they are effective. And if you know how to work them, they are great. I know Zillow gets a lot of hate, but we're a good partner with Zillow. We like them. But anyways, they contacted me on Zillow. We went and looked at this house. They were looking at, 800, $900,000 houses. They weren't terribly concerned about money, but
Wow.
they wanted something unique. They wanted something really cool. And we looked at two houses on that first day. The first house we looked at, they wanted to make an offer on, and we did, and we got beat out by somebody. The second house we looked at, I told them, I said, do not buy this house. This is a wreck. I mean, it's $700,000. It's an absolute mess. Don't buy it. And um, they kind of, they didn't say anything really. They were just kind of like, okay, well, we're going to think about it. So we parted ways, and a couple days later, they called me and said, Ronnie, we just cannot stop thinking about that house. Can we go back and look at it again?
Huh.
Sure, absolutely we can. So we went back and looked at it again. And to make a long story short, they decided that they wanted to purchase this house. And so we put it under contract. We got a deal negotiated, and I'll tell you, it's the hardest real estate transaction I've ever done. And I'll spare you the gory details on all of that. But suffice it to say that there was a little bit of personality conflicts on the seller side that we had to work through. But again, it goes back to this. We don't know what the word quit means. We don't. We do whatever it takes. We're tenacious. We're problem solvers. That's what we do. And we got the deal closed finally.
That's
and
awesome.
At one point along the way, my buyer asked me. She said, "Ronnie, do you think that we're crazy for wanting to do this?" And I said, "Absolutely." He said, "100%." I said, "But nothing cool is done by rational people.
Yeah.
It's the irrational people that do the cool stuff."
Mm.
And so today they are almost finished with the restoration of that house, and it's not a remodel; it's a restoration.
Wow.
There's actually a Facebook page on it if you want to follow along, and you can see it all from start to finish. It's called Bringing Pinehurst Back, and it's worth a follow. It's a very cool project, very
Wow.
cool transaction. But yeah, hands down, that is the coolest transaction I've gotten to be a part of.
Man, that's awesome. That's incredible. Great story. I love it. We're
Yeah.
starting to run low on our time here. Hey, let me ask this one last question of you. If you were going to give some advice to an agent listening to this, and this may take a little bit of taking off your humble hat here, because you are at the top of your game, doing very well. Someone that wants to grow and maybe follow in your footsteps a little bit and have some similar success, new agent in the market, or been in the business for a while, either way, what advice would you give them?
I would say find a great mentor
Mm,
and
that's good.
pay them
Yeah.
to teach you how to do this business.
Yeah.
Um,
You and I both
I
believe
had
in
people,
coaching. So yeah, that's exactly true.
yeah, coaching is great. I wish I would have found coaching sooner than I did. Um, and what drove me to coaching was that I found, I think, the pinnacle of my success that I felt like I could achieve on my own.
Mm,
And I wanted to invite some outside insight into my business. I would say that's really the key. And when I created the integrity team in 2021, the reason I created this was because I saw a need for mentorship and training in this industry. I don't think it's any secret that
mm,
uh, most of the training that's offered in many of the brokerages is a complete joke. You might get your hand held through one or two transactions by
sure.
someone, and then that's it. They go away. I wanted to provide something a little bit different. I wanted to provide a place where new agents could really learn the right way to do this business. Where there's I only have two people that sell houses under me. I have an assistant that works with me, and it's very small. And we're not trying to be the biggest team in the market. We're trying to be the most exceptional, the most hospitable, and the most productive real estate team. And so, I believe that if you want to be successful in this business, you need to find a great mentor. You need to find someone that knows what they're doing, that is willing and able to train you, even if it means, you pay them for that service.
Sure,
It's
sure.
well
Yeah.
worth it because it'll get your business off to a great start. And not just that, but take action on the things that your mentor asks you to do. If they tell you, write down 100 names and start calling people, by gosh, do
Yeah. Yeah.
it. The stuff works, and it's not, doing real estate is not rocket science. It's not hard. Well, let me take that back. It's not complicated. It is
Yeah. There you
hard.
go. There you go.
But it's simple. It is dirt
Sure.
simple. It's about building relationships, letting people know what you do, and having some accountability around your business, whether that's being a member of a team, whether that's hiring a coach that's completely outside of your business, whatever that might look like. Find some accountability early and find some mentorship early so that you have somebody that can help you.
Man, that's incredible. Ronnie, man, I think you're awesome. Much better golfer than me, and just a phenomenal friend. So thanks for being on this podcast. Here's what I took away, and hopefully the agents listening to this as well will too. Be a person of integrity. That's going to exude in your daily life and also in your business. And I see that in you. Know your why. What a great reminder to remember why we're doing this business, and then work hard, never quit, have a mentor.
Yes.
Anything to add to that?
I'll just say one thing.
That's fine. Say as much as you want.
A lot of people are attracted to real estate because they like the idea of how much money you can make.
Sure.
And make no mistake, there's a lot of money to be made in real estate. But if that is your primary reason for wanting to do this business, you need to find something else to do, because doing real estate is about solving problems, and it's about helping people get what they want. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. Realtors are a commodity. There's 1,500 realtors just in our association in Little Longview, Texas.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to answer the question of why someone should do business with you over the other 1,499 agents that they can choose from. And my philosophy is that if I can solve hard enough problems and I can help enough people get what they want, I'll make money. Money is a byproduct of helping other people get what they want. So if your why is I want to make a lot of money, really think hard about that and ask yourself, is that really my why, or is there something deeper that's going to keep me going? Because when you run into some difficulties, if money is the reason if money is your why, you're gonna burn out and you're gonna want to quit.
That's true. That's a great point. You got to know your why.
So that I think that would be my final thing to just kind of wrap this all up and put a bow on it is really understand that making the money is a byproduct of helping people get what they want. That's really all it is. The Zig Ziglar, classic stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, hey, I hope that those agents who listen to this, that they take away from that, because you're at the top of the list. So you got some great information for everybody to be pulling from. Ronnie, if someone wanted to, because this will, weave its way out there, if someone wanted to get in contact with you, whether an agent or maybe looking for some mentorship from you, or even a client who may be interested in working with you, how best should they get in contact with you?
Yeah, shoot me an email, Ronnie, that's RONNIE at integrityteamre.com.
Perfect. Ronnie at integrityteamre.com. Got it.
Yeah.
We'll make sure to have some contact information.
You can always just Google me. I'm all over Facebook and all that other stuff. So
you're a little popular. You're out there a little bit. So
I'm easy to find.
That's right. Well, Ronnie, thanks so much for being a part of this. And everybody listening, we will catch you next time. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Ronnie.